Alright. Hello, everyone. What is up? What is the crack? I clicked the wrong screen. That would not be like me. Hello! What is up? Are we all having a good time? Are we all having a good time? Are we all having a great one? Xenos, hello. I got the crack. Unfortunate. The crack is 90 though, however, right now. So, it's kind of a skill issue on your part. I would definitely consider getting a crack check this instant. Because right now the crack is 90. We are waiting on players to show up. We have Ondo and World. Just waiting on the wonderful Shu, who should be 0. Brenda said that I'm too good. I mean, you do have the role that says that you're a little bit too good. So I'm going to give the wild assumption that you're actually better than 90% of players in the scene, full stop. 90 is insane crack. 90, when the crack is 90, you have no idea. But yeah, welcome in. This is probably going to be the last tournament where we go on the upper power scaled rule set. So in other words, we say goodbye to the original intention of this rule set and we move ever onward back to the one that's closer to YY set. So it'll be goodbye Starfish, and we'll have a look at a few other things that we can make some adjustments to. We can make some adjustments as we go. But yeah, we're just waiting on Shu. Let me just message them again. Maybe they're busy. Which, yeah, I think it's been a nice experiment. I've actually enjoyed so here's the thing. Do you think tournaments with base level no consumables bring watchers? Probably. Would it be fun to cast? Not really. We've already had one of those tourneys, Xenos. It was fine. It's just not something that I'm particularly interested in. Because we can kind of like look and we can go prisoners best class to start with. Keep in mind I'm a very boring individual when it comes to these tournaments and stuff like that. Unless I'm going out of my way to fuck with the format in a very funny way, it's not particularly great. For me anyway. But then again, I have very particular taste. How's it going, honey? Jaeger! Man, I'm looking at you, Jaeger. You got mentioned in a Stulovsky video. I'm looking directly into your eyes at this very instant. Congratulations, you've made the big bucks now, friend. GGWP. Now you can cope at level 80 with BHBs. You can do that, I believe. Alright. That was enough eye contact. I'm feeling kind of weird after that one, not gonna lie. Just a little bit. Just a smidgen. There we go, I fixed it. It's been that way the whole time. Holy shit. GGWP. Good games, good games. Just waiting on Shu. No, it was good to see you, Jaeger. I do these in PSN now, by the way. Not the beginner's brackets, but like fight nights and stuff like that. You should definitely, show me your BHP skills. It would be good. But yeah, who do we have on today? Let me take a look. I woke up late and am regretting life decisions. So we have Shu, Ondo, Engi Flame, a wonderful new Spanish player, Blue Noctara, Pablo, Dark Lord, and Stilette. So it should be a good tourney here. I'm not actually sure who's the favourite. Who do you reckon is the favourite? Exclamation point show. There we go. Who do you reckon? What are we feeling here today? Ondo has a good shot. Shu is a good shot. Blue, maybe. Engi is the dark horse we were all waiting for. So I'm kind of curious as to how that one is going to pan out. Very curious as to how that one is going to pan out. Shu, unfortunately, just has to restart their PC. So they should be here in just a moment. My apologies for the delay. What oversights are there on the rule set? And I say oversights. The only big oversight is the funny ripple axe thing. But that dies very painfully to meta. So I don't know. Huh. You're not having enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. That's fucked up. The funny axe is like the only oversight that I had put in. And I don't think it's a big enough emergency in the rule set. It's just cringe. I still have to sit down and fucking test it. So I think that that's the only thing I'm, like, concerned about. And even then, I'm not particularly concerned. So we'll see. We will see. Who's in chat here? Skyn. A poisson. Ah! It's the fishy, fishy, fish. Sasimoto. Jaeger. Jin Toro, welcome in. Osiris, thank you for the sub, by the way. Xenos, thank you for being you, I guess. We'll think about that one a bit. Jack. Who else is here? Atlas. Atlas. British. And Los Pablos. How are we all doing? What setups are you excited to see today, folks? Because I know that these beginners brackets can bring some very, very funny stuff. Curse blades are legal. I always like seeing them. I'm not nervous. You are. Hells yeah, brother. You can be nervous enough for both of us. Yeah, one of the reasons why I like these tourneys is, like, it's a great way to get over nerves and stuff. I do quite like that. I think that helps a ton. I'm betting on offhand Warhammer. Offhand Warhammer? Why? Barely have nerves anymore. I still get the shot of adrenaline. Just a little bit. It's just like a nice warm little feeling inside when competing. In anything but my own brackets. My own brackets are weird. I just kind of vibe. I just vibe. That's one of the advantages of having these, like, weeklies, is that people can get over their tourney nerves and stuff like that. It's fantastic. It's pretty good. Pretty goob. Write my name with big O's, big L, Cope. This is my town. And this town here ain't big enough for the both of us. It's called Great Hammer, actually. Yeah. We actually don't see much crushers anymore. I think that was just everyone forgetting how to play at PSGS for a bit. I think was the problem. All right, where are you, Shu? Carlord. Alright, I see Shu has entered the whirl. She seems to be fixing her inventory. Alright, we should be good to go, but we will, ladies and gents, take a look at the builds. While we wait, we have Ondo on the Hall Axe based setup, I think. Absolutely zaced. 60 Vig, 54 strength, 18 dexterity. Pretty standard strength build, and Shu, I'm pretty much the same. 47 endurance, though. That's a hungry end boy, is what that is. God damn! Along with your fancy lion mask for your End of the Lion cosplay. The fursuiters out in force. Ladies and gentlemen, we will crack on with the first match for this epic tourney. The bolt is out. The pot's thrown. The Storm Blade. Storm Shoe coming at you from across the arena. As we are going to see these waggles here in neutral. Interesting showing here as we do see the chilling mist coming out here from the side of Ondo. Just trying to get that little bit of status. Poison here wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing as we do see that hit come out there. Shoe taking the first little bit of damage. Thank you, Nyalter. I will no longer pull you by the ears, bestie. As we do see Shu move in there for a nice little bit of pressure. A running attack. Switching over onto that lightning grease now is Ondo. Not quite sure as he overextends just a little bit into that Shamshir. You hate to see it. Not advisable. You generally want to keep people at a relatively long distance, so stuff like that doesn't happen. Shu taking another little bit of damage there from that exchange, but Ondo's going to be punished there for the ballast. The empty jump over the top there. Tries to go for that R2 over the top, but Shu says, nah fam, we gaming. And Shu's going to get that backswing out there once more, going in for this nice little bit of pressure. Keeping Ondo in the corner, but she lets him out. The positional pressure completely lost there, as the off-axe is going to whiff, but Shu not electing to go for a punish. I believe she may be poise chipped here as the backswing comes through. 200 HP left for Ondo, and then it's 0 HP. Nice Sue, and nice Sue, nice Sue. Shu takes the W. 1-0. In this... Wait, what is this again? It's been a while since yeah, it's a first to 3 for the first and second wave. All of losers bracket is going to be a best of 3. Sorry, I missed a week last week and it hurt my brain a small bit, so I'm just having to remember what the format was for these beginners brackets. I'm so used to everyone going both 3 for everything. It's kind of wild. Especially with seamless, best of 5 kind of makes sense for like a standard, I think. Because you have a fairly easy way of... Oh. And there we go. The frost pot is out. It's going to be a bit of a high ball there, though, for the side of Ando. Shu going for the Storm Blade. We do see that running attack come through here. Ando doing his best now to try and get those hits. Oh! GG. GG. Alright. Point then. That's second point. 2 points for Shu. 2 points for Shu. Alright, let's go again. That was good. Unfortunately, Ando did use Quick Step in that exchange, which is pretty brutal. I just go for an immediate reset. And all rule breaks will result in, unfortunately, an immediate round loss. Multiple offenses will result in DQ. As we are going to see the Frostpot come out there, but unfortunately Shu's just not going to get hit by it. Oh, look at that there, the block cancel. Possibly a pivot cancel there on that hit stun. Definitely the block prevented that there as well. A perfect block while still taking damage is wild to me. You do in fact hate to see it. Shu's actually starting to get these pretty reliably as well, which is kind of interesting. I did say once I realized that random poise events were a thing, that it was entirely likely people would get very, very good at doing them. Into that Chilling Mist. Ando's very low. Not quite out of it yet though, but still a fairly wild, quite a hill to climb yet as an empty jump comes out there from the side of Shu. As you do see that blue feather coming out here. Possibly being able to take 2 hits. Goes for that off dagger there, but has to be careful. Into that running R1. Does manage to get that little bit of a poise chip there, so another 2 dagger hits may be sufficient to actually get that break. As Ando takes a running attack there. Shu trying to go for that follow-up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Stinky! Did that follow-up, and unfortunately just messed up the spacing into a pivot. And that is going to be Shu taking it. Alright. Alright, cool beans. GG's. Yes, indeed. Yo, can we get a Chi-Chi's, besties? Chi-Chi's. 3-0. Nicely done. Alright. Now it's going to be Engi Flame versus Blue Noctara. Let me see if I can remember how to spell this. Blue will be blue, and Engi will be red. There we go. Excrement. There we go. I hope Shu doesn't play Hall Axe. Do you struggle against the setup? I was gonna say if you want at some point during the weekend, we can do some sets or something still. Still-et. Let me just remind the players who's up next. Engi versus Blue. Boo, boo, boo. Sham probably for the whole tourney. Which makes sense. Shamshir is very strong in this rule set. Pretty much all the meta setups are obscenely strong in this setup. I think the one setup that is perhaps the best in the rule set is Curse Blades, and we've seen them once or twice since they've been legal, which is kind of interesting. As an incentive for people, yes, 100% Alter, because as it stands, most people are just end up using the using Starfists, so most people end up using Starfists when you don't have those things, which is kind of a downer. Blue Noctara I haven't heard from. Forgot to activate rune. Yeah, of course. You're a decent. Should come up there. Go for it. I'll probably be chilling there later on, so. Alright, I'm just waiting on blue. Alright. Yeah, feel free to join, Jaeger. I'll give you perms and such. Alright, we're just waiting on Blue Nectara, who I haven't heard from yet. Let me just remind myself of the messages that were had. Alright. Alright. But yeah, as it stands, we may have another drop here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look soon. Okay. Let me see who's messaging. Sorry, just doing some admin stuff here in the background, folks. My apologies. The end of the do not. What is up, bestie? What is the crack, my friend? Alright, there we go. Tired, how about you? I woke up late, which means my weekend is going to be a little bit scuffed, but that's okay. I'm not hearing from Blue. We're gonna move on to the next round, I think. I'm not hearing from Blue, so give me just a moment. Sorry, my net exploded. Hi, but I joined up. Well, good to have you in, is all I said. If I'm ever live or whatever, feel free to hop in the VC. Where are we? Blip, 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 blah. I've lost the chat because my Discord is a mess. Alright, Pablo at Dark Lord. No sound. So we move. No. Of. No sign of. What's his face? Blue. So we move on. Alright. Damn, you already made almost all beginners intermediate. 6 players in. Yeah. Alright. So we're going to go dark. Steam happy. And then it's Pablo. All right. Okay, cool. So we have Dark Lord and Pablo, I believe, in world right now. So it's going to be Don versus Pablo. What happened? I was out of streaming. No sign out of the other player, Engi. So we're just going to move on to the next round. You might have a bye round if we don't hear from Blue Nectara. Give me just a moment. Let me set up the camera then, because players in session. So it was player 1. Okay. I will say that the interface with all of these things is quite something else. 3. Cool. All right, let's take a quick peek at the builds. So we have Dark Lord, who's going to be rocking that Gug's straight sword by the looks of things. Lord Sworn by the looks of things. And then it's going to be Pablo on TS. Not a great matchup here for Dark, but with a 54 strength, 34 end, being both Jarlocked and having the Erd Tree Blessing. Definitely a play. And then it's going to be Pablo on 44 endurance, 56 strength. Alright, excellent. Let's take a look at the players. They are ready to go. And on a 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Interesting. Good looking, have fun. Sorry about the confusion, Engie. As we are going to see that running attack come through there. The thrusting sword, that rolling attack comes out here from the side of Pablo. Getting some decent damage. As we see the vacuum slice, but Pablo is going to get hit by that Gugs. Both sides relatively even here. Nicely done, nicely done. As we are going to see that thrusting sword do its devilish work. That running attack comes through here as the standing R1 comes out here from the side of Dark Lord. We're going to see an extra little bit of damage. Oof. 1500 to 1866, both players relatively even as we are going to see these rolling attacks come out now. Pablo here playing very, very aggressively as he can afford to, but that trade comes through with 300 damage in the difference here, with, of course, Dark Lord being poisoned as the standing R1 comes out now once more. Looking at this, the rollouts coming out here. But there we go, the ballast for free. That's huge into a standing R1. We see some panic rolls coming out here from the side of Dark Lord. Not quite sure how to find his footing as the standing R1 comes out. Are we going to see the whiff punish? We do not. Whiff punish has not been restored as Pablo takes more damage. As the rolling R1 comes out here from the side of Dark Lord. Gravity Fan's getting a little bit of damage there into that rolling R1. Negative spacing comes out here from the side of Pablo into a trade. That is going to be Pablo taking the W. And instead of a Dark Lord, we should have a Queen. I spent all day thinking up that quote, lads. I hope you're prepared for it. Alright. Me when I click on the wrong part of the Discord, you hate to see it. Yeah, Pablo's up 1. We are going to possibly see some changes coming out here from the side of the Dark Lord. Dark Lord Sauron. Just the technical term for it. So don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. My apologies. I hate when stuff like this happens. No shows make things slightly more difficult, Engie. Which is why I appreciate people who give me a nice heads up. But either way, a very clear heads up that they're not there, that they're not going to be there. Either way, both players are in. Round 2, fight! As we are going to see the thrusting sword now on the side of Pablo versus the Great Star. But a nice punish right off the bat there on the side of Il Pablo. As the standing R1s come out here from the side of Dark Lord. Funny thing about the particular Great Club moveset that he's using there, it actually has an unreactable attack. The difference is it's quite a difficult one. The CR1 has, I think, an 8-frame startup and has some fairly decent damage. The problem is it starts behind you. So in other words, in order to use it properly, you need to aim it behind, as Pablo's taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, and of course the negative range becomes a huge problem on these things as well, but Frosty and other players have shown that that's not necessarily a problem. Frosty has had some pretty good success here as we see these trades coming out into another trade when the armor is hyper, folks. As that rolling attack comes out there, but it's just a little bit too far. And the whiff punish has been restored as well, ladies and gents, as Dark Lord is able to press with impunity here. As the toxic miasm of the community rolls up. Alright, we do have a guaranteed drop then. I just have word here from Blue Nectara. So that is going to be Engie Flame getting the first point. Submit scores. So we have our first buy of the tournament, a second buy technically of the tournament. Range not a problem when you're jittery. True. All right. Sorry, I was distracted there for a moment. Give me just a second. Who won that round? It was Dark Lord. Dark Lord forces the match point. Nice. Okay, there we go. Thank God for YouTube. I love you, YouTube. Dark. Yep, I just checked it there in a second. All right. Both players are in and ready. 1-1. And a 3, 2, 1. As the great stars are doing some great work. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Look at this. The poison mist comes out there from the side of Dark Lord. Goes in for that running attack. It's not quite going to be enough though. However, Pablo is not out of the woods yet, even though frame data wise, that thrusting sword is absolutely brutal, as we do see those standing R1s coming out left and right. Pablo here taking that long neutral, trying to perhaps get a ballast, but instead is going to be brave and go throw the harpoon. It's whaling season here, ladies and gentlemen, as we do see now Pablo skedaddling just out of distance here as that running attack comes through into that run R1 from the side of Dark Lord, but Pablo rolls in like an absolute legend that he is into that standing R1, into the follow-up, managing to get him. There we go. The jump attack actually comes out there and gets that hit in. Standing R1 comes through there as well. Look at this here. Pablo is going to run directly into the stars. He's definitely seeing stars after that one. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm sorry to everyone I've disappointed. As we are going to see now, these nice little bits of damage coming through here. Jump over the top there from the side of Pablo, who is going to try and go for it again. Looking at this, Pablo's taking a lot of damage here, but still has tier, even though that health lead could change very quickly. And we see an attempted BS there, a bit of a BS grab, unfortunately. And roll out now once more from the side of... Oof, standing R1's coming out there, trying to get another one. Dark Lord has quite a substantial life difference. Into that standing R1, goes to the follow-up. But those roll-ins are absolutely brutal. Tries to go for a little bit of backswing. Into that swing! Tries to go for the roll catch, but unfortunately just not able to make it. Pablo has lost his tier. To that standing R1, 200 HP. We see Pablo get a little bit of that HP back. Into that standing R1, but the counter hit. TS takes the W. The W. 2-1 in the favor of Pablo. Yeah, don't worry. It turns out it was a bit of a misunderstanding for me. He had committed and then said... Alright, we see a swap over here from the side of Dark Lord onto the Rotten Great Axe. Oh me, oh my. The colossal weapons are eating good this weather, folks. The bolt is out. Oh, and the Divine Beast Stomp there actually gets a decent amount of damage. Both sides relatively even here within... that CR1 there. Unfortunately, Pablo's going to be able to roll out, though. That standing R1 into the follow-up R1. Not if you're... So, someone has just said, like, the poison is mostly a bait for a Ballast Punish either way. Not quite. Especially when people are low, that it's an insane amount of pressure to have to deal with, as we do see that swap over onto the stone club, but right back onto that rotten great axe now once again. Are we going to see that crouching attack? We do it there. Into both sides having their tier gone. As Pablo's going to roll out here, the thrusting sword doing absolutely crazy work all the way across here. And the Bolus into that backswing there, but unfortunately the stone club is just too far away. Hitbox porn comes out here, even though they're half the world away. Another roll comes out here once more. Had an opportunity there as the side of Dark to go for that. To go for that CR1 on the Colossal on a couple of occasions as more hitbox porn comes out. Unfortunately, Pablo is just going to eat it. That is going to be Pablo moving on into the next round and into loser's bracket with the Dark Lord. 3-1. Cool. Alright, well, looking at it here, Blue Noctara is out, so Dark Lord immediately gets a bye. And now it's going to be Stilet versus Shu. So let's get this show on the road. There we go. I'm so bad with TS. Well played. It's a quirky setup. It's still one of the strongest setups in the game. Shu. All right, cool beans. Oh, I'll spell that correctly now in just a moment. How the hell do I pronounce your name? S-T-E-L... Stelt. Stelte? I have no idea. There we go. It's good enough. Yes, don't forget to Great Rune, bestie.
Hey.
Carlord, there we go. An immaculate name. Alright, well it does seem that Shu is going to be using, so just for newer players, do please stand. Just stand on the little disc. Stand on the little disc. There we go. We're good enough. 1 foot is in. It'll be alright. Yeah, there we go. We're all good, folks. Alright. Let's take a quick peek at the builds. That's the wrong one. So we do have Stilet. Stealthy. Who's on the S-Stock. Going to be rocking that 54 strength. Versus Shu. Probably on the Hall Axe. I'd still need to fix that at some point. Interesting. Has to be done. That is a bracket after all. Alright, folks. Cool beans. As I now need to fix my overlay. Wow. Alright. Both players are in. On a 3, 2, 1. There we go. Now, the bolt is on its way. The players are getting ready to go, and so they are. And the physics have been drunk. Shu, rocking that Hall Axe. As the L1 from Kilo comes out there. Stealthy, keeping a very, very long distance here. Not quite sure how to do it. And the off axe into a run R2 there comes out. Shu goes for that standing R1. The run attack comes through there. Stel, not quite sure how to collect themselves here. Playing a very long distance as the Blink Bolt comes out. Into that run R1 that comes out there from the side of Stealthy. 1500 to 2698. As we do see the Blink Bolt come out now once more. Into that run attack. He's going to go for that rollout as the Hoarfrost Stomp comes out there to get that extra little bit of damage. 2400 to 965. Stealthy not quite sure how to engage here. Newer player to our beginner brackets. Going against quite obviously a veteran here in the form of Shu. As the tier is now gone. Managing to go for those aim downs there is the side of Shu. And we do see the tally swaps. coming out here from Shu as well. As Run R1 comes through here. Stealthy, not quite sure how to engage. Unfortunately, just gets run down by Shu, who takes it 1-0. Alright, cool beans. We have the rune arcs taken. Make sure your tallies are all fixed up, folks. I think we're going to be good. Alright, both players are content to stay as they are. Alright, Control S. There we go. 4. There we go. There we go. The bomba is out. The physics drunk. We can hear the jump R1 over the top there. Unfortunately, the tries to go for that hit there. Shu keeping up that pressure there. The hyper armor, especially for newer players, can be quite hard to move around, as Still is just going to try and stick at that very long distance for Shu to come to him as that backswing comes out there once more. Oh, but that jump R1 to initiate here, as we do see those CR1s into that jump over the top. Getting some really good damage here. Force back now is going to be Stell, who tries to get that little bit of a touch in there, but unfortunately long gone. Stell almost winning the best Suwu tier name, but not quite able to do it. You hate to see it. As a jump R1 comes out over the top there, into another one. We do see that empty jump there into the backswing, but unfortunately, that jump R2. Still not quite sure still on the exact spacing to hold. Gets the nice little bit of a hit in. As the Hoarfrost Stomp continues to keep up that pressure from distance. Oh, nice run attack there to engage there. Into that jump attack. Shu going for the CR1. It is going to be Poland versus Germany, so the lat mustn't be too bad. As the empty jumps come out here now once more. Keeping that long distance with that jumping R1 to try and initiate. The patient TS plays, but the swap over to Red Feather here could be the play, but Shu takes another stock. 2-0 in the favor of Doesn't Matter Shu. Alright, cool beans. 2-0 in the favor of Shu. Alright, cool beans. He had some good moments. Yeah, it's in. Keep in mind he's going up against quite an experienced player. The word intermediate in this scene is a very strange one, but either way, we do have both of our players in. Let's go. As the physics are drunk, as the players are skedaddling around. Stell here trying desperately as the Shamshir is out. Did you see a little bit of poison build-up come out here as well? Oh, and the poison bolus there. Into the spinning slash. That running R1. That CR1 is absolutely brutal. Not going for that roll out, roll back in tech against the Shamshir spin slash. Caught up against a wall there with the Shamshir is not a place you necessarily want to be. Goes for a running attack. That trade, but Stilette is very low. Stealthy. Does it sound like Streltsy? How do you pronounce that? I'm going to have to ask him later on. What's up, Nosy Vagabond? And that is Shu taking the round. Nice-oo. 3-0 in favor of Shu. Braya. Now it's going to be Engi versus Pablo. Excellent. 0, and then Pablo. Alright. So in losers bracket, it's going to be Stealthy versus Dark Lord, which should be a really nice fight to watch. Let me just add the Pablo. Nope, both players are actually in. Never mind. They were faster than I was. You hate to see it. Let's just take a quick peek at the builds then. Once I make sure that everything is set up correctly. Engi versus... Yep, they were all good. Let's take a quick peek at the builds. We do have Engi, who's going to be rocking that Misery Chord. Main hand whip. Very exciting stuff. Versus Pablo, who's going to be rocking that Thrusting Sword. Going to be a pretty brutal matchup here for Engi, but Whip has done well in the past. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm pretty excited to see how this one's going to go. Matchup advantage is very much going to be in the favor of the Thrusting Sword here, as is always the case. But, ladies and gentlemen, on a 3, on a 2 and a 1, allay. But there does seem to be a forked hatchet there as well. As the rot has been applied into that jumping attack there, as Pablo is going to go for that very aggressive bolus right in his face. My God. And that off-axe getting that bleed proc. Good turn away there from the side of Pablo. Almost getting hit. As that off-axe is now going to go to town. Whip, of course, is going to be quite nasty in my rule set by virtue of the fact that it can be poisable at high enough poise levels, but with all the ghost hits that are going on here, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to keep track, as we do see Pablo manage to get that bolus off pretty much for free. Into the poison, and getting that extra damage buff there as well, into the jump attack. Into the bleed proc, but it was rolled! And that's going to be Engi. Spaniard taking the W. EU too strong. Please nerf. Very nicely done. V-nice, V-nice. The mix potential on the whip, dude. No way, dude. No way, dude. And the little clap. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2. 3, 2, 1. Fight. What was it KH Knight used to say? Let her rip. Oh, but Engi's getting chased down here by the TS, which is not a pleasant place to be in. Not the place you want to be, but unfortunately we do see that build-up of the bleed into the bleed proc. 1300 to 1851 in the favor of Engi. 1600 now. About 300 HP in the difference. Goes for that little bit of a trade, but the off-axe gets that kiss. Into the bleed proc again. 300 HP. 78, 68. The poison and the whip takes it again. Flame. Sweet Flame. As Engi Flame takes the next one. 2-0. I do always love when people take what I would consider off-meta jank into bracket and doing really well with it. It's a pleasant feeling. It's a very pleasant feeling. Who does that players are forever have a very specific place in my heart. But either way, we do have both of our players in. And a 3, 2, 1, LA. As the rot is out. Into that bit of a trade there. The off-axe not quite able to hit as a bestial roar comes out there as a means to punish. But the not quite getting Darcy, but not far off it as a jump over the top there. But unfortunately, managing to get that little hit there on the whip. Getting another one into the off-axe. Into the bleed proc. That is going to be nutso. As we dabble in the arcane, ladies and gentlemen. Getting another little bit of a whip hit. Engi goes for that hit, possibly. Gassed out. As Engi Flame takes the W. In a trio sweep. Oh my good god. 3-0. What the heck? Alright, so we are now going to have Pablo. Okay. GG's, indeed. Alright. It's now going to be Pablo versus Ando. Ando, my beloved. Let me just check how I've oriented this bracket now, because it's been a while since we've had a Bennings tourney. Losers bracket, winners and losers finals, best of 7. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, folks. So we have both of our players in. Let's crack on. We do see our Ando run versus Pablo. Ando in blue, Pablo in red. Let's take a quick peek at the builds, folks, shall we? Ando's going to be rocking the 54 strength. Pablo on the 56 strength. 2 in the difference. Armor possibly a little bit more optimized for Pablo, given that he gets that extra stat boost, which is V-nice. Hella poggers. And let's crack on a 3, 2, 1. Although, there's a lot of end here for Pablo, but with that absolutely stunning line mask, Sleep Grease might actually be a bit of a play here. As a run attack comes through, as that's Ando going to town with the off-dag mash. Goes for that jump R2, managing to land the true combo off of that jump attack. The lightning grease is up into that run R2. Little bit of hitbox porn happening here as the jump R2 comes out there. But unfortunately it's just going to go a little bit wide, and the poison Ballas was consumed not quite for free, but I think with this health advantage it's really going to stand to the Ando run. As we see that nice punish there, the off dagger here coming in clutch. 400 HP to 1600. The dagger in men's smiles. As we see that swap over to the two-handed halberd. Ando playing a little bit more cautiously, getting those swaps in. Not punished though by Pablo. As a jump R2 comes out into that follow-up R1. Will we see the fully charged R2 tech come out from the side of Ando? That is the question. As a run R2 comes out there. Possibly could have gone for a run R1 and caught Pablo with his trousers down as the dagger into the run R1. And this best of 3, Ando takes the first stock and is now on match point. Uh-oh, Sketios. Not looking good here for Pablerito. Not a spot you want to be in. Oh, what's up, SK? The Skifrigid. The Skifrigid. Pablo here trying to reset. Get his stuff together. Can't say I necessarily blame him. Match point and all. Maybe swapping over to something a little bit more familiar. Pablo, of course, being a prolific G-Cat main. The large cat. The cot, if you will. Alright, that was a nice cup of coffee. Alright, we have both of our contestants in. Ladies and gents, on a 3, on a 2, on a 1. LA. As the chili pot goes out, but unfortunately not going to make it into the county hurling team with that one. As we do see Pablo getting a little bit chewed up here, going for these roll-ins, but against... On Shamshire, I'm not sure if the roll-ins are necessarily going to be the play, as we do see these run-outs here, not wanting to get hit by the chilling mist. But we see there the pivot cancelled there on the... on the hit stun animation, which is kind of interesting. Oh, but we do see a nice hit there from Pablo. There she blows. As the harpoons are out. 'Tis whaling season. Goes for that running attack there. Goes for that nice little bit of pressure. The chase down is real, however. Ondo is going to reset. But the spinning slash. Goes for that run or two. Into the chili pot. The chili BB. Into that trade. Ondo's quite far behind here. Pablo being an awful lot more comfortable here on the Shamshir than not. Into that spinning slash. Ondo not electing to go for the rollout roll-in tech against spin slash. The Braun the Goat special. As we do see that run attack there just go a little bit wide. Pablo possibly setting up for a run or one out of it, but unfortunately it didn't quite run out, as we do see these run or twos to try and maximize that amount of damage. Both sides do still have their tiers up. Ondo with a very, very slight health lead, but that could turn around in a second. Pablo trying to go for that roll attack. I'm not sure if there's a tier skip option. The answer is no, sir, there was not. But the chili missed. Posting gifts as we speak in my DMs. Powerful stuff, as we are now going to see Ondo run. Both of them going for consumables to throw out. Ondo's slightly behind here. And in this matchup, I can't say I'm surprised. The off dagger, however, a very reliable form of damage, as we do see that run R1 come out. Ondo electing not to go for the dagger. Into that R2 on landing. Pablo has it all to lose here. He has a winning point. But the harpoons are out. The swaps over. Back onto that red feather. A standing R1, L1 might be enough to actually take it away. But Pablo evens it out. Oof. Pablo forcing a match point here. Oh, I think I have a Discord bot bothering me right now. That's pretty funny. Interesting. Alright, match point. 1-1. The Shamshir voices the Hall Dag. Without Flaming Strike here, Halberd is in a little bit of a spot of bother. But we do have other options here. Going for that Divine Beast Stomp kind of fills the same niche, but Ondo's doing a great job of keeping that keep out. As we see Pablo here going for some shenanigans as that late jump R2 comes out. Little bit earlier to try and get that true combo. It is a frame dependent one, as we see the two-handed halberd out. Good rollouts there from the side of Ondo. However, he is going to be clipped far from shipped as that hyper armor comes out into the chilling mist. Pablo getting himself Darcy'd. into that standing R1. The true combo off of the R1, L1 there on the Hall Dagger. Pablo's pretty far behind, but as we've seen, that doesn't mean that Pablo's out of the game just yet. Neither side wanting to get knocked out, as we do see the punish in the daggers. Pablo's at 76 HP, managing to get a little bit of the Godskin. But that dagger keeps coming out. Uh-oh. 1000 HP. A backstab after we get Ando low. Might be the play. It'll have to be a backstab now or it's bust, I think. Pablo's still on that blue feather. Possibly a swap to either red feather or alternatively going for that blessed dude to try and get a little bit of the health back. Might be the play! Ando gets anti-aired! Oh my god, 500 HP! What a round, folks. The fists are out. Pablo on 17 HP! Gets clipped! And Ando takes the W. Ando, the GOAT. Utterly goated. 1 to 2. Very nicely done. Nicely done. That was an excellent round, folks. G. Frickin' G. Good showing. Alright. Alright. Let's get dark. Versus Stelle. I still cannot pronounce it correctly. Or spell it correctly, my god. Or pronounce it correctly. Stealthy. Kind of reminds me of Streltsy. The Dawn. Alright. There we go. Alright. A lot of work to do my Shaman TS play, I guess. GG's. Thanks for coming, Pablo. It was really nice. It's always a pleasure to see you. Good frickin' match to end it out on. And now, let's take a peek at the builds. Wow. Dark, gonna be... Ooh. Are we... There's 2 darks right now. I think that, yeah, that's a little bit better. So we do have Dark, who's going to be rocking that 54 strength. 34 end, 60 Vig versus Stealthy, who's going to be on the 60. 45, 50. I still, okay. Little bit of a sidetrack here, because I do think it's worth pointing out. Pablo joined our brackets on Gugs off CGS a hell of a long time ago. And look at and how he's able to compete with some pretty formidable players. So, you know, kudos to fucking Pablo. Kudos to fucking Pablo, dudes. You've come a fucking mile since all those months ago, my duder. But either way, Dark versus Stealthy. Dark's second or third appearance here in these Bennings brackets. Stealthy is first, rocking the broads. And oh, how broad the damage is, as both sides are relatively even here, within about 10 HP of each other, pretty much. Stealthy here is going to be playing that long distance. Against this Twin Blade, I can't blame him, as we do see that trade come through. Looking at this here, the Frostpot comes out there just to try and get that extra little bit of damage. Not that the broads need them, to be fair. Goes for that jump attack there. Unfortunately, going to be a little bit of a baby jump here, as Stealthy is slowly but surely clawing back in this round. Again, the positioning here is kind of suspect. However, for newer players, being afraid to engage is definitely a thing. Attacking is scary, folks. Defender's advantage is a thing in all of these games, as Stealthy is still trying to find that spacing. Could have gone for a backswing there on that overextension into pressure there, as Dark now has about a 300 health lead as we do see that backswing come out. Broads here being very, very short and definitely going to struggle into that TS to try and get those whiff punishes that it needs at the best of times. As we do see, stuck in the corner but just about managing to get out. Goes for the backswing there, but unfortunately it might have been sus on nobles, but it's definitely going to be hard to do on broads as Stelte is taking that very, very long distance. But that trade comes out into another. Stelte only a couple of 100 HP in the difference, but managing to proc the tier. We will see that swap over onto Blue Feather, no doubt, as we are going to see that aggression coming out here from the side of Dark. We do see that nice little bit of extra damage build up, but not in a position really to guarantee it, as Stelte is going to be half the map away, and both of them are. Goes for that nice little bit of damage there. We do see that interrupt. 79 HP here for Stelte. Stelte having to reset here once more into this longer neutral. Managing to get that hit though into the backswing. JL1 there from Kilo there just to skip that neutral. As we do see both sides feeling pretty good about getting their swaps over. That red feather is on now versus the blue. And Stelte takes the W. GG's. Red feather broads. Go hard. Holy moly. What's up, A2? Good to see you in, sister. Close DM. They finally revealed to me that they were selling VTube models or whatever the fuck. I love these people. Just popping by. It's good to see you, sister. Always a pleasure. As we do see the swap over from the side of Dark onto. Yep, getting those tally swaps in now is the side of. Yep, we're all good. All right, ladies and gents. On a 3, 2, 1. Allez. Glug, 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 glug. The halberd here on the side of Dark isn't necessarily a bad idea, especially this anti-air halberd. And it does have a means of actually closing. Who sells VTube models? It's some scammer from a Discord. You know the drill. However, we're seeing some very, very reactive play come out here from the side of Stelte. Oh, managing to catch the second half of that as we dabble on the arcane. This ghosty goop. A ghosty goop halberd, ladies and gents. Going for it again. Managing to actually get the hit, but hitbox porn hits hard. I know what I'm watching later. As you do see a roll around there. Alluvial, thank you so much for the raid. As you see Stelte managing to get that backswing in. Dark is very low. Too far away, but the whiff punish has been restored. The betrayed by the ghosty goops. Standing R1 coming out there now once more. And the waves to try and bait in a bit of aggression so we can get the punish. Stell is playing this turn and burn playstyle very, very well here, and it doesn't seem as though Dark is necessarily in a position to know how to deal with it. But the ghosty goops land! Spooky season is over! Hasn't anyone told Dark? Dark managing to land that. Stelte is very, very low, but we'll see that swap over to that red feather in a second. Almost managing to last that spear. Into the trade. Forcing a 1-1. Nicely frickin' done. 1-1 on the scorecard. Wait, Dark plays StarCraft 2? Wait, who did he play? Zerg? SC2? Legendary? Listen, Alright? We don't judge players here, okay? Although it is probably a very Soulzoid name, let's be honest with you. A beautiful use of the Phantom Slash. The Ghosty Goop. I forgot what it was called there for a second. Don't pass any remarks on me. Alright, as we phase through the geometry, ladies and gents. Let's just take a quick look at these guys here. Running attack comes through there once more. Into the Ghosty Goops, managing to land it once more. Dark here has really set himself in. And the Phantom Slash comes out again, because now I know what that's called. Let's go. The call back to spooky season. Managing to get a nice tasty hit there, but Dark has a considerable life advantage here. Could have gone for the follow-up there just to try and bait in a bit of aggression, but we don't see it. As that two-handed halberd is going to come in pretty clutch into that whiff punish there in the anti-air. Managing to get that interrupt there. 1500 to 952. Both players still with tier. Good rollout comes out there. Stealthy taking a bit of damage. Uh-oh. But the Frostpot, but into the roll catch. Followed up there by the standing R1 on the side of Dark. Tries to go for a backwards jump there, but it's just not going to be enough to cut it. Uh-oh. Into that JL1 it lands, into the backswing, but unfortunately when the armor is hyper. But the Ghosty Goop strike again. The spooky, scary skeletons. But the aim punch saved Stellet there. Oh my god! Dark is basically one shot. But the TS into PSSS is going to be pretty nasty. I think without Blue Feather, Stella here is basically going to be knocked out. That Red Feather getting some good use. Backswing, not able to land. Uh-oh. Roll out there from the side of Dark. Tries to go for a whiff punish, but whiff punishing TS is a tall order. Into the JL1 landing. That is going to be Stellet. Stelte? We'll figure it out. Jeez. As we're going to see more pylons! Are we going to see the drone rush here? Dark Lord, I've heard rumors that you're an SC2 player. What's your favorite build order for Zerg? Go. 1 to 2. I think I only ran Hydralisks. A Hydralisk build order with a couple of roaches. That's all I threw out. Alright, GG's. That's going to be Dark Lord knocked out and Stilett moving on to fight Ondo. But we are now in the semi-finals, which is the winners' finals, making it a first to 4 versus Shu and Engi. Shu. Wait, A2, were you a SC2 player as well? Sorry, I get excited when I see my RTS brothers and sisters around. I was, yeah, who did you main? I was terrible at it, by the way. Absolutely grotesque. Were you a Brood War player? Brood War is apparently popping off right now. Sorry, we're getting distracted talking about other games. I meant Protoss or Terran. So what you're basically telling me, A2, is that you were in the rear with the gear? What an excellent fucking meme. Alright. Let's take a quick peek at our players. No, that's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. Alright. Doesn't matter, Shu. The brother used to main Terran and he used to crucify me. It was horrible. Same with Enfer. There's a few RTS heads in the community. It's nice to see. Alright, anyway. But the game. We are playing the game. We are playing the game. Shu is going to be rocking that 51 strength on that Sham Shear. 51 strength, 47 endurance. A little bit of vigor. Engi rocking the 35 endurance. 22 and the 41 in arcane. The dabblers in the arcane. Alright. Both players are in. I never actually played Command and Conquer. I think I played it once years ago because I got it very cheap at like a store. Good freaking games. Anyway, we do see that Jump R1 coming out there from the side of Engi. Managing to get a little bit of build up here. But we aren't going to see that bleed pop off just yet, as we do see Engi here trying to guarantee to get that little bit of extra damage here. Shu playing very patiently here as we do see the whip. Not getting that bleed proc here as Shu is going to have that very, very high robustness here. Both sides going for the respective boluses here. But the poison. Are we going to see the punish? We don't see the punish. That's unfork bestie. But with that dual status, it's going to force Shu to decide whether or not she wants to compromise her usual swap or necessarily go for something else, as we do see those rollouts come out there. That is going to be the poison and bleed quite high up now once again. Goes for that jump attack over the top there. Shu is very low. The bleed pop goes the balloon. And Engi takes the first stock on this first to 7. And the best of 7, first to 4. Very nicely done. Have you looked at Sins of a Solar Empire 2, A2? Because that game was Hang on a second. Alright. When I seen this, myself and Dragon were in a call once. And he's like, oh, did you know that they announced this? Part 2 trailer. I did a little mess in my trousers. I'm not gonna lie, seeing this shit. But anyway, I was a little bit excited. Just a little bit, because that game was my childhood. Alright, ladies and gents, we have both of our players in. Allez! As we see the rock pot coming out here. Jump over the top there, not quite able to make it. We do see Shu swapping over onto that halberd. Managing to get that hit there into another one. The follow-up, unfortunately, is going to be tanked, though, by the side of Engi. Thanks, Alluvial, for the raid, by the way. I do appreciate it. You're an absolute legend. As the rock pot is out here, are we going to actually see the build-up happen? No, we don't. But that off-axe is brutal. Into the whip. Shu here with an ever so slight life advantage of about 800 HP. Into the catch! Into the bleed proc! Oh, nicely done, as we do see that run R1 coming out there from the side of Engi. Shu not electing to go for bull goats to be able to tank that whip, which is pretty brutal. Good rollout now once more. As the whip, and that is going to be the tier gone. Actually safer from Shu here to go for that, as Engi's tier is now gone also, still with the slight life lead in the favour of Shu. Both sides relatively even. The whip keeping up that pressure. Into the trade, as the whip continues to do its wicked work. But the reactor here on the side of Shu, trying to get that ghost hits, those ghost hits here to keep that build up. Keep that build up where it needs to be. 233 HP to 367. Over the top there, the trade! That off-axe is going to be absolutely brutal here. Into the trade again! 30 HP for Shu, 77 here from the side of Engi. Tries to go for that runner one. The daggers are out. Poison ones, no less. The desync there on the daggers. Please ban daggers. Both sides so low. Into Reduvia. Maybe forcing a ghost hit here into an offhand might be the play. Into the Stormblade. As we now have a 1-1. GG's. Welcome in, Firekeeper. How goes it? Throw up, hello. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm just catching up with chat right now. I think if a projectile desyncs, we should just ban all projectiles. Personally, that's my general take, guys. What do you reckon? Who's with me? Who is with me? But Alluvial, again, I'm sorry I didn't say proper thank yous, but I do appreciate it. Good to see you in. Michael Zaki, please. Project to desync. Cannot react, please. Please. Alright. We have both of our players in. And they're both reared to go. 1-1 on this first 2-4. As we do see a little bit of a trade here. The off-axe coming out here, but Shu is in with a vengeance. So we do see the rolls coming out there from the side of Engi. Engi angry. Jump over the top there comes out, but unfortunately, Shu is just nowhere to be seen. Into that attempted trade here from the side of Shu. Engi trying to leverage that bleed proc and is going to get it, but I think it was rolled. Shu here with 1800, 1400 in the favor to Engi. But again, with those bleed procs, this could go either way. That solid burst damage here from bleed could even this out, along with the extra damage he's going to get off of. But the whole axe is doing some wicked work here. Engi not electing to go for strafes. It is going to be Spain versus Germany. As we are going to see that run down here from the side of Shu to another trade here. The off-axe, the stagger away into the off-axe here is pretty brutal. Goes to the off-dag here for that last hit. Into that little bitch slap to send Engi home. Shu takes round 3. Slap in the face with a little fish. G. To the G's, my G's. Wow. Wow. This is a really good frickin' set, folks. Really frickin' good set. Well done to both. I should probably just remember to do this every time. I don't think the players really need that much privacy. Personally, I think. Not sure though. Ooh, we're seeing a change here from Engi. Alright, let's just take a quick peek here. Aha, the dagger turtle. Oh no, it's sword and board? What? Versus the Shamshir and Shu? 35, 22, 22, 41. Getting that extra little bit of arcane here off of the little bro head. Interesting. Alright. Ladies and gents, we have both of our players in. They're ready to go. And on a 3, on a 2 and a 1. As we are immediately going to see all of our drones going in there to try and get that extra little bit of resources. We are going to see the gas coming down here very, very... I'm sorry. Alright, nicely done there. We are going to see that standing R1 coming out there into the... Beautiful showing here from the side. The perfect blocks coming out here from the side of Engi. Just to try and throw Shu off. But Shu has that pivot cancel tech. As that R2 is going to come out. And we do see the whiff punish there on the guard counter. Goes for that running attack there. Not quite able to do it. The Stormblade in the corner is pretty nasty. But the guard counter. Just to try and get those hits in. Just after that. Oh, nice one. Good roll out there once more. Jump over the top there once more. We do see that roll in. But unfortunately, Shu getting overly enthusiastic there. Engi electing to change it back up to something that worked just a little bit better as we see the armor swaps coming through as that toxic miasma spread out across the arena. The toxicity of the Souls community Finally showing its true face. As we do see another trade into that backswing there, into that standing R1. The bleed proc is going to be rolled though, but we do get that damage boost here from the poison. Oh, but Shu's Bolus isn't for free. Uh-oh, good rollout there from the side of Engi, who is angry at being this far behind. But again, a solid bleed proc. Said that one fast a few times. Could be enough to actually even this one out, as we do see the backswing. Oh, but this spinning slash into a run R1, into a good night Irene. GG's. Three to 1 in the favor of Doesn't Matter Shu. They are doing an exceptional job here, keeping up that pressure. GG. I hate you. I can't believe you'd hate me. Sas Elomoto. I can't believe you would. Alright. 3 to 1 in the favor of Shu. Let's crack on now. What could be match point here, unless we see some excellent adaptations here on the side of Engi. Has to be more on point with those Bolus punishes here, which I know how hard it is from personal experience. Tries to go for that. As you do see the rolling attack coming out there once more. Oh, the whip, managing to get that first hit off. Responding in kind there is the side of Shu with a very slight life advantage. As the poison mist is out, goes for that jumping attack there. Shu trying to keep on top of it here. Engi's playing an awful lot more cagey. But that off axe comes out into that whip to try and get that hit. Another jump R1 over the top there just to try and get that hit as well. Oh, Shu gets hit, but unfortunately... Poise, boys. Just too far away. Shu has found the spacing here and is content to slowly but surely chip away. Realizing now in that interaction, it's actually in the advantage of Shu. As a beautiful R2 punish there. Jump R2 punish on the Bolus, which is pretty brutal here. Run R1 comes out. Managing to tank that whip. Shu managing to tank it once more. Engi does have poise break here. But unfortunately the hitbox porn strikes again. Again, another one for the folder later. Standing R1 into that off axe. But unfortunately the Bolus has been consumed. Engi managing to get that poise break here. And the off axe goes ham. Into the bleed proc, getting the poise. No shot, that was it. Was that a tear skip? That might have been a tear skip. Holy sheesh. Holy sheesh. God damn. What the heck? Pop goes the balloon. Damn. Alright. Boys, grills, NIMBYs. We have all here. We have our players ready to go. Who can we see? Not quite a reverse sweep, but not far off here from Engi. Who's finding that spacing. Who's figuring out what needs to be done. Shu, not getting Darcy'd here. But we do have the Wakazashi and the off-axe here, which is going to be pretty brutal. Little priority machine. Getting that build-up continuing on here. Getting that anti-air into the off-axe. Continuing to get that there. Into the whip once more. Into the bleed proc, 1100 HP to 2400. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. The off-axe. To answer the question, Octa, this is a best of 7, so first to 4. So Shu's on match point here for the last 2 rounds. But we're seeing some really, really nice play here from the side of Engi. Backswing coming in. Keeping that pressure here is the side of Engi. Oh, that's brutal. 300 HP. Into that. Standing R1, 190. Into a trade. Into the off-axe. Match point. In our first... What? There we go. In our first to 4 series. Match point, ladies and gentlemen. In the winners finals. Humble Cam Gamer, hello. The most humblest and calmest of gamers. Well, compared to anyone you play against, for sure. Skyn, hello. Boisson! Engi has locked in. That was some really, really nice play. How many kicks can you tank? Humble Cam Gamer. How many? I'm actually curious. 2, 3? On your dueling shield? Well, I don't match. It's all relative. 3. I need to play into your dueling shield build more, to be perfectly honest with you. I actually think I should probably go like bleed or sleep or something like that. I don't know. It's a nice little puzzle to fight on dog shit matchups. Because like the only person who's really rocking shield over here is like Pablo. Not Pablo, sorry, is either Misha or Pedro. I fucking love Pedro. He's my favorite human. Alright. Enough shit posting. This is a real tournament. We do have both of our players in, folks. Ladies and gents, match point. Shoot 3 in blue. Engi 3 in red. Arcane versus Strength. Allez. The bolt is out. The players. A beautiful Stormblade there from the side of Shu. Beautiful one. As we are going to see Engi take some serious damage here right off the bat. 1200 HP. At well over 1000 HP deficit as that Poison Mist is going to get that nice build up here. Oh, tries to go for that jumping R2. But Engi's very low. Not electing to stay for the whip. Getting that nice little bit of extra damage now. 2100 to 684. Both players still have tears. Into that tanking of the second R1 from the halberd. The Reduvia coming out, doing what needs to be done. Goes for the Reduvia again, but unfortunately going to be punished for it. Beautiful strafe coming out here from the side of Engi, but unfortunately, those running R1s of the halberds and the free aim! And Shu says it don't matter that this is match point. We lock in. And it's going to be 4 to 3. G's. G frickin' G's. Four to 3. Well frickin' played. Kiwi, we're hosting the fight nights every Tuesday. So small round robin brackets. That was... Engi punched well above his weight in that. Well above his weight. I think that needs to be definitely said. Off meta doing really well against hard meta is pretty nuts in this game. Considering the power level difference. Ondo. Here, I'm just gonna... Ondo. Wait, did I closed it. Give me a moment. Let me get everything set up here. We're back to a first 3. Mm-hmm. ST, hang on a second, I've struggled with this name for whatever reason. STEL. TE. There we go. Back to a bow 3 here, folks. And then after this round, we're going to take a very quick break, just to let me rest my poor vocal cords. It will be the same hour. Yeah, it'll probably be an hour at the regular time. The later ones for PSN just don't suit me. Oh, good God. Let me just add the players and make sure that they're all in. Let's go beginners 3. It's going to be Ondo at our most Souls of Souls players. Nori Giza. I've only one thing to say, my friend. Only one thing to say to you. I hope you're ready. I hope you were prepared. Alright. Alright. This is a good meme. This is an excellent meme. But Nori. I hope you're listening very closely. Wee. Alright, we did it. Alright. Let's take a look at the builds. Stilette and the Broads. 45 end. 50 strength. Everything else pretty base with that 14 dexterity for an extra little bit. And Ondo on that 54 strength. 18 dex. Everything else pretty standard. That 37 end. Jarlocked as well. A rarity in this current meta. But ladies and gentlemen, let's crack on with this. Best of 3, first to 2 series. Wow. LA! As Ondo is going to go for that Frostpot again. Still having to work on his aim. As we see the double lightning grease Broads doing some pretty serious work. Stelta doing a decent job here. He's going to be forcing a rollout here from the side of Ondo. Ondo not used to players playing this far away, as I can see here, as he's not quite sure how to engage. Me, when neutral, is 15 miles away, as we do see a whiff. Goes for that run R2 there, but it's not going to quite matter. Goes for another run R2 to try and catch from Kilo, but Poland to Germany isn't that far away. As a jump R2 comes out there to try and leverage that true combo. Ondo swapping back over onto that Hall Axe is going to take a little bit of damage here. Looking at that 228 to 2600. Ondo is going to elect to regen here, as we do see that run R1 not quite land. Ondo electing for a run out. Unfortunately, the pivot not going to give him the spacing that he needs his stealth to is going to be running away forever. Good rollout though from the side of Ondo. He goes for that run R2, it's not going to land, but the CR1 on the side of Broads isn't the best. As that run R1 comes out there into another run R1, into another run R1. Oh, just shy there, but the second R1 will land. As Ondo keeps Stealth pushed into the corner. Goes for a run R1 to try and punish that empty JL1. Into that running R2 on the two-handed halberd. Even in this 1300 to 2300 all in all. And a late R2. Goes to that run at rollouts there is the side of Ondo. But a considerable life lead here as we do see the chilling mist. As it's getting cold out there. Oh, the pivot in the corners rough into the backswing. 891 to nearly 2000 HP with that regen. Slowly but surely getting Ondo back into the fight as that damage there from the Broads continues to be obscene. As a run R2 comes out. Ondo electing to go for a rollout. A late run R1 there catching Stelthrit, who is going to eat that axe to the face. As Ondo says, here's Johnny. No, I will. I wanted to do them slightly later because I thought they'd suit people better, but it turns out they don't really. We're still having people who would have to be delayed or late getting in. And unfortunately, I have work after the tournament, so if things go horribly, horribly wrong, which they kind of did last week, we were very, very late with some connection issues and stuff. I like to keep the fight nights between like 3 and 3.5 hours, especially with the finals. But yeah, when we're looking at about 4 hours, it can be pretty rough. I mean, that's a worst case scenario. 4 hours is still... It's about 3.5 hours to the people who go through the pools. So I don't mind, but yeah, we will see. The lower power level bracket might make things last a little bit longer as well. Because the time to kill goes up a little bit. But either way, we do have both of our players into the Frostpot. Into that beautiful punish here from the side of Ondo Run. Beautiful Twitch streamer. As we do see that trade come through. Ondo not quite in a position to punish there, but the off-axe goes to town. Ondo trying to hit there from Kilo with that run R1, but it's not quite going to work out for him. Steltre has to be very, very careful here. Swap to Red Feather could be pretty, what we call in the business, pretty baller. But the Phalanx is out. Into the true combo off of it. And that's going to be Ondo moving on into the finals. The bronze match. 2-0. Nicely done. Alright, folks. Well done, everyone, so far. We are going to take just a very quick break, just while I get my everything together. So, hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Hope everyone's had some good matches. I still think the highlight of the matches so far has to be the Shu versus Engi. Absolutely phenomenal display from the side of both of them. So that was very nice. Very nice. So, folks, I'm going to talk to you all in just a couple of minutes as we get ready for our finals. Folks, chat to you in 5. Mwah! Love you all. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and bringing with me here is a very, very special guest. Amira, Amy BB, how are you keeping,
Hi.
bestie?
Yeah, I just wanted to come in to help with these last few sets. It seemed pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's been a wild time. We've had Arcane. The dabblers in the Arcane have a very good day here for so far today in the form of Engi, and obviously Ondo, who will not run from the adversity he's about to see. But Amy, let's just take a quick look at the builds and see if there's anything that's very interesting to your good self.
Well, that is that did appear to be whip off axe, so
Yes, the
that
fork
is
hatchet.
going full arcane. Um, I'm surprised actually. I don't know what that other whip is, the one that has like the impact Ash of War from like DS3, but usually I assume people would go for that, but I don't know. Maybe they want the innate bleed.
Haslow's has been
Um,
doing some really serious work so far in this. Some really, really serious work, especially with those little bits of chip. So I'm very,
mhm.
very curious to see how this is going to do. Obviously, Ondo's on a fairly bog standard halberd, hall axe build here. And then Shu had some very good success with it as well. So, oh me, oh my, the
Mhm.
Haslow's whip is not to be trifled with. And obviously, we have both of our players in. Amy, as I actually have to fix my overlay real quick. Oh dear. Let's see which player is which now. Nope, wrong one. I love it
Yes.
when players don't leave world in time. There we go. All right, Amy BB, give me the count in at your leisure.
Wait. They're on the wrong sides. Because, like, wait, the blue one is Ondo, right?
Oh, I've completely messed up. Never mind. There we go. No, that's also not right. There we go. All right, we fixed it. Whew! This is why we have you. This is why we pay you the big bucks, Amy.
I could pay.
All right, folks. We have both of our players
Oh,
in.
I think I confused them by telling them the
No.
wrong side. Okay. All right. Countdown.
Yeah, go.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Listen. We'll get back. We'll be back to where we were, as we are going to see the frost pot come out there on the side of Ondo. Both players now are doing a decent job here, keeping up that nice bit of pressure. The B Bolus was almost for free there, but the positional advantage that Engi is able to get out of it is pretty brutal. Looking at that here, the whip continuing to get that nice little bit of bleed build up a strafe, but didn't trust it. As we see the rollout coming out here from Engi, and we do see the phalanx there not going to get that combo, as we are going to see Ondo do as his namesake would suggest, which is run. And we're actually seeing some really good focus here from the side of Engi, trying to get those little bits of damage, or at least positional advantage, off on Ondo with those boluses. Do you reckon that we maybe need to see a different Ash of War to try and get those punishes a little bit better?
Potentially, because I did see or notice that Engi was going for the basically a roll catch
Yes.
with the Ash of War, but otherwise, if they don't like panic roll there, then there's not very much high reward you can get from that. It does get that Ash of War off safely, because otherwise it is kind of a risk, but you definitely could have higher capitalization as we see Ondo just explode from a bleed proc. Okay.
Oh my lord. Pop goes the balloon, and we see it there. Good point that you made there on that, going in for that, for the getting the Ash of War off in a safe environment. That is definitely something that's worth keeping in mind. But if you don't get the roll catch, you at least get a small little bit of extra pressure off on it as well, and the damage is just a bonus. So that is a very, very good point. Very well pointed out, Amy. Again, this is why they pay
Yeah.
you the big bucks. It's almost as if you know what you're talking about. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's other situations to get off the Ash of War, so I'd probably go for those, and on the Bull Sponge, I'd probably just go for a jumping R2 with the whip. I think that
Interesting.
would be a higher reward.
Well, give us the count in then at your leisure, bestie.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
We'll get there eventually, alright? As we do see the boluses here, and the Frostpot comes out there to try and get that bit of damage. Jump over the top there from the side of Engi, who is going to get... Pop goes the balloon once more. 1400 as we are going to see Ondo move in there with that Hall Axe. Managing to get some really good damage. The Frostpot is off. Engi counters with the off axe of his own. The forked hatchet versus the hand axe. Which one is better? We'll let the audience decide. There she blows the harpoon once more into that... The mist, the toxic miasma of the Souls community coming out once more into these standing L1s. Getting that interrupt, as that is going to be the tier gone for both sides, into that L1. Getting some extra damage off there. Engi is very, very low, but a bleed proc here could be enough to send Ondo home. 1 or 2 more hits is all it's going to take for Engi to get that tier skip, but unfortunately, baiting out with the counter pressure there as the back swing! But Engi takes the second one.
Interrupts right before the halberd hits there. Yeah. It's really actually interesting. Like, because Whip has damage level 2 stun, it can actually grant trade combos with the off axe. So it's probably pretty good, like, to set that up on a lot of interactions, right? Because like Whip has like a lot of weaknesses and shortcomings, but there are ways to make maximum use of what it actually has. You just gotta know the interactions and such.
And Halberd, as we'd seen in some of the shoe matches as well, had done a very good job. But Amy BB, it's time. Give us the count in.
3, 2, 1.
Closer. Nearly there, as we are going to see now that Frostpot coming out there once more. Looking at this here, we're going to see Engi, not entirely sure. Up the late physic here, baby, just caught menus in the bow. The sportsmanship on display here is truly outrageous, as we see Ondo swap over to that extra little bit of HP off of that Fire Knight helm. As we do see now, the Halberd Runner 1 managed to connect there just on the lateness. Engi here catching Ondo in the corner, but looking at that, the bleed proc, Ondo is very far behind, but Engi's tanking all of that damage himself, as we do see the whip doing its dastardly work here. 1000 HP with the Run R1 managing, or Run R2, sorry, managing to catch there. Ondo having to be a little bit more careful. Are we going to see the whip continue to do it into the trade combo? The true combo off of the jump R2 into the standing R1 on the two-handed halberd, which is pretty huge here. Ondo has to be very, very careful in his positioning. Does not want to be caught out like he was earlier on. That was absolutely brutal as the chilling mist comes out, trying to get that extra little bit of damage. The jump over the top there. Engi isn't out of it yet, as he's just taken the lead by about 100 HP, and that jump R2 into the off axe. That's the second time, Amy, we've seen those interactions land that way. Ondo will take the lead despite a massive bleed proc, and then slowly but surely some very smart plays there from Engi will actually take the W's.
Engi seems very proactive. Like, I don't think I've seen much with this player beforehand, but I am kind of impressed by, how proactive they are in the game. Obviously, there's a lot of things that could be done better, like the off-axe trading, taking them all down to like low HP, and like the bullet punishes, like I mentioned before. But overall, like Engi is very proactive, and really tries to actually kill the opponent. Right? And they aren't afraid to press buttons,
and which is nice as well. Which you have to catch people with nice mixes on Whip as well. Whip is, I would argue, very, very reactable, and you have to play off your CR1, standing R1 mixes in case they go for the jump over. So good showing from Engi here, and it's showing in the scorecard. But Amy, give us the count in at your leisure.
Are you on 3, 2, 1?
Boom! Glug, 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 and the Frostpot is going to go wide again. Again, the County Hurling team is going to be asking for another one for throws like that, as we are going to see the chilling mist. It's cold out there. The chilly mist. Gifts in general posted all of the time, as we are going to see that jump R2 over the top there from the side of Engi. Engi keeping that nice spacing here, trying to play off of the whip, but unfortunately Ondo has gone for that bull goats to try and guarantee that he's able to at least tank one of those whip hits. And there we go, this interaction, we've seen it before, as the frost proc is going to be hit there. Engi, both sides going for their respective boluses here, but Ondo's going to be clipped, but far from being shipped just yet, as we are going to see that off-axe come in here, managing to get another trade into that build-up. Slowly but surely, Engi's tier has been procced, though. Are we going to see it? The pop goes the weasel, as we are going to see Ondo's bleed bar just fill up to max. That jump R2 was very risky, but unfortunately it does seem as though Engi's stand bar just wasn't full enough. Gassing out here as we're seeing proactive players. As we do see it, Engi takes it again. What? Amy, you're gonna have to explain what the hell just happened there.
What in particular?
Yeah, just all of those interactions coming through there, all the way through, everything just like took an awful lot of mash, and then still managed to come out of it again.
Well, Ondo kept being hit by those like really long range, like jumping whip attacks, running attacks. I think people kind of constantly underestimate the range of whip. I think one thing whip has really strong is it kind of creates a problem where I don't think you can actually whiff punish it with almost anything in the game. You have to almost like play pressure and like and kind of like accept and just play reactively, and so you just don't eat like the whip, them jumping back or jumping forward and hitting you with the whip, or like them doing the running one. Like it's very safe for them to throw out. The only threat that it really has is, or risk is, its high recovery, because people could roll in. But if they roll in too late, then they're still going to be in recovery, and they can just get their off-axe off, right? And punish you for going in. And even then, since whip is just so long, you might not have the range to roll in and actually get close enough to threaten them decently. So,
and I think as well, another thing to keep in mind is there's maybe a handful of players who've taken whip to this level. I understand, the word beginners and intermediate bracket kind of sounds intimidating, but how this scene is, a beginner is still already better than 90% of the community. So someone who's in touch enough to actually know that these tournaments happen. And Engi has proven that whip can be absolutely brutal if you don't know how to deal with it. But the best thing that I can say to do against whip, in my experience from fighting it, is very much chase down. You can chase down with impunity. You can tank those things, understand, keep an eye on your bleed bar, get those rolls, and when you do roll that bleed proc, depending on where they're positioned, you can just mash out of it. Bleed oftentimes can lead to hilarious interactions where you actually renege priority and the other person can just mash out of it. It's
whenever bleed procs, it does the lowest level of hit stun, regardless of the hit stun of the attack. So this is especially bad on anything that has like damage level 2, like whip, or like great weapons. And the worst is colossal weapons. They get absolutely destroyed by this. But so you have to be like careful with that, because you basically are giving up your turn if they, get hit by it. But usually that's fine for all the damage. You can just back off or whatever. But if they roll it, then there will be no consequence for them. And they have the turn now. Yeah. But what you usually want to do is get them to very high bleed build up, and then use something
fast and unreactable.
Like off-walkie is like the most reliable thing for that.
Well, either way, Amy, we do have both of our players here for the finals. Best of 9.
Best of 9.
Best of 9 with a follow-up best of 5. Should the bracket be reset by Engi here? Give us the count in.
3, 2, 1.
Spot on. As we are going to see both of our players go for their respective buffs of Stormblade here to prevent any shenanigans here in neutral from the side of Engi, as we are going to see that swap over now onto the Hall Axe now from the side of Shu, recognizing from previous. We're on the main hand Reduvia. Interesting here, trying to go for that bleed build up right off the gate here, as that jump attack is going to come through. Shu has some very good roll discipline here, not going to be hit by any of the shenanigans here from the side of Engi. Looking at that there, we do see that off dagger coming out now. Once again, back onto the whip, we are going to see that chilling mist coming through. Not going to get Darcy though, unfortunately, is going to be going to be Shu here. But in this interaction, look at that. The free aim was beautiful there into the immediate off-axe. Shu not taking any damage from that exchange at all. Both of them going for a swing there. A swing and a miss, but you miss every swing you don't take as the off-axe comes in there and gets the damage. Swap over. Nice toggles here on the side of Engi, trying to change things up there with the R2 on the side of the Misery Chord, which definitely has a little bit of extra... Definitely has a bit more oomph to it, even if it reneges priority on the second one, as we see the swap over onto a guard counter on Whip.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, he still got a decent bit of damage, but a riposte would have done so much more there.
A toggle into the yeah, just anything at all there would have been absolutely brutal. As we see the sword and board.
Warhawk Talon.
That R2,
I know the R2 got some improvement.
The R2 is actually pretty brutal into that perfect block there as well, but unfortunately skedaddled just out of range, and it's not going to matter much. Shu here has a substantial life lead all the way through in this. A couple of tally swaps, but tries to go for that perfect block, but unfortunately not going to matter, as we do see another perfect block come out there into a trade. Engi's very low, 319, 37 HP into the off-axe, the back swang, but Engi's not out of it yet. Oh dear, oh dear. And the dagger. Inmen smiles come out, and Shu takes the W. Very, 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 very confident round there from the side of Shu.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Engi was going for there exactly. Maybe there's a lot of matches left. There's room for experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was for sure interesting.
The R2s can catch people if their spacing is a little bit off, because again, it's one of those things that, like with Whip, there's very few players who are actually using S&B. And especially with the Warhawk Talon R2, the guard counter is an excellent way of actually getting hits off on people because they don't expect it. But when Shu is playing as reactive as they are, it's kind of hard to land those things. Like 90% of the damage I get on guard counters is me trying to strafe them because Dark Souls 3 brain. It's like, oh, that's a long move and it's funny. I'm gonna.
You know, they might have also started swapping, because if you noticed, there was not a lot of phantom hits getting get off, and that might be because Shu's better reactive rolls, or maybe the latency between them is a bit better.
Should be sub 30. Yeah, should be 30 to 40 ping, I'd imagine, between here, so it's not that bad at all by any stretch. But Amy, round 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Listen, that was it's all your fault. Anyway, we do have both of our players going for the respective buffs here. Obviously, back to the Whip now again. That run R1 comes out there. Shu, some really nice rolls comes out on the side of Shu, as we are going to see these stutter steps here in neutral. Engi swapping over onto the Vulgar Militia Shuttle. Is that what it's called?
Saw.
Vulgar Militia Saw. Sorry.
Is a different halberd.
It's the curved one. Never mind. Silly goose moment. As we are going to see now that off-axe just go ham on the side of both of them. And that R2, very, very fast after the buffs here. But unfortunately, the standing R1 is just that little bit better. Or even a CR1, I would argue, would be better on that halberd. As we are going to see that run R1 come out from the side of Shu. Good strafes here, but unfortunately that halberd is so stubby. And the backstab grab just a little bit slow on it. Good strafe all the same, though, as we are going to see Shu manage to get those jumps over the top there. Both sides resetting into a neutral here as we see the swap over into that Rivers of Bobero. Listen, I'm going to say without shame I lost to Dimka's Rob once. I'm sorry to everyone I disappointed. As we do see those roll attacks coming out there. The Robero Bobero. Memory's broken. Truth goes unspoken. Coming out here as we see the swap over onto the the spin slash Kiba into that R2. Those R2s trade again, but unfortunately Shu has the life advantage.
Is spin slash on Kiba not banned?
Nope. 121 poise. There's no poise limit. Players don't hit the poise limits on them. I don't even think it's banned on ERPVP because of interactions like that. Pretty much.
Well, my theory here is, like the last round, like Arcane really needs a bit of latency to actually get decent status build up. because otherwise, if there's not latency and you're not getting phantom hits, then really hard to get the reward you're looking for when it comes to status. So I think Engi's just trying to look for solutions here under these circumstances.
Yeah,
But
it's
kinda hard
tough.
for Arcane because status is your whole thing. Maybe something occult? I don't know.
Another thing to keep in mind with the spin slash Kiba unban is that the roll out, roll in tech that Bron had perfected is pretty brutal against it as well. So you roll out, get the timing right, you roll back in, and then you can immediately move in for a punish against it. It's utterly hysterical. And remarkably easy to do. I was shocked. I think I got it first try, and if I can get it first try, it mustn't be too difficult either way. Give me the count in again. Sorry?
When people do that, are they just rolling in at the timing, the immediate timing, or are they waiting for the attack to come off?
They roll. I actually forget. I'll have to relook at it. I have no idea. I just rolled out and then rolled in.
More gameable than people think, but yeah, let's get into it.
Yes, and a 3, 2, 1. Here we go. As we are going to see now the Stormblade coming out. The Wakizashi. A poison Wakizashi, no less. From the side of Engi. Shu is just playing out of their minds right now as they go for that R2 here is the side of Engi, but it's not going to land. Shu going for that aim down. Very, very nice halberd play. Into the backstab, ooh! Are we going to see a free poison mist come out here? No, Frostpot, interestingly enough. Alright, good roll there from the side of Engi, but unfortunately Shu is just waiting and ready. But unfortunately didn't free aim that to try and get that hit as Engi goes for another strafe. Goes for that R2 now once more. Shu playing very, very confidently here as that standing R1 comes out there in the off-axe there to try and get the catch into that late R1, L1, R1. Beautiful spacing there from the side of Shu. Just a slight jitter out to make sure that they were out of range of that Wakizashi. Into that hit just a little bit too early on that attempted R1 catch. As Engi now is very, very low, but the poison mist here, Shu resetting into a neutral, not wanting to walk in on that hyper armor, more than understandable. Although at this life difference, it might have even been worth it, as we are going to see now. Looking at that there, Engi's going to go for that. The R2's managing to land, and look at that, the priority being stolen. Engi eating that priority. And getting an awful lot of damage off as a result, as we are going to see 242, 95 HP. The back twang coming out now. As it is 2-0 still on the scorecard in this first 2-5. As we do see the poison ball is for free once more. Oh dear, oh dear. And the swap over to the Raksasha. But the back twang once more takes the W. 3-0 so far in this first to 5 series. Nicely done there. By the side of Shu. Like
yeah, it seems like, do you see what's going on with Engi having a huge problem trying to do actions within Shu's space and just never having their turn, right?
Yeah.
They're rolling in between the attacks and just never getting it right. I think people just have trouble getting used to Halax's like ability to basically really like, you know, keep its turn and keep threatening damage from afar, because you see a lot of times Engi going for a rolling attack expecting like another axe swing, but then she just does halberd hit and then it just, you know, completely beats out Engi for doing that.
Oh, we are seeing a Frosty special come up here from the side of Engi though. So that's going to be pretty interesting, especially given that halberd does struggle against hyper armor just that little bit. But that off-axe is going to come in. The scythe this time. Interesting. All right. This just got a hell of a lot more interesting, Amy. Are we going to see the attempt to reverse sweep this? Curious.
Well, I don't know. But we're yet to see. But 3, 2, 1.
No worries. It's on its way, and the bolt is out. The physics glugged. So we're going to see Shu now reset into this slight neutral. And look at that, an immediate punish here. Managing to call out those CR1s. Absolutely brutal stuff here from the side of Shu. Pre-spacing out pretty much everything that the halberd does. But the G-Cat is out. The great Cot. And another interrupt comes out there once more from the side of Shu as that jump R2 comes out, but unfortunately not going to be punished here from the side of Shu, who's going to be chilling in this long distance. And there's the run R1 getting the interrupt on the running attack, and that's the interaction that Halberd wants, not allowing the G-Cat to get off any of its shenanigans, and that's the first hit that Engi has managed to land, nearly 2k HP down. Oh dear, into a trade here, and Shu can definitely afford to take it as the tiers are still up. As we do see Shu now reset into this long neutral, trying to wait now for Engi to try and re-engage here. Because again, once you get that run R1, if you can force a roll, they can't now run R1 again against the Halberd because they're going to get either Hall-axed, ow,
Yeah.
or they're going to get Halberded out of it as well. It's a really nasty matchup for G-Cat, especially when they're not on Raksasha. But even on Raksasha, they're going to struggle to get that out.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, we see Engi there trying a lot of, trying to get in, and a lot of keep out, but I think what they're missing there is whiff punishing, because that is the weakness of Halberd, is not just playing into it, not, you know, trying to throw out your own hitboxes, because it's generally better at throwing out its hitboxes at a range.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a trouble thing to get used to.
And as well as that, like, trying to engage into Halberd is quite difficult as well because of the startup that does exist. That does exist on G-Cat. It's trouble. It's just an awful. I wouldn't play that matchup. Halberd into G-Cat just feels awful. Even on Raksasha. And the hyper armor does give it a lot. But we do see some swaps. Oh my god, is this a Gugs mirror? The classic matchup? The 2022 type beat?
Shu is up 4-0 and also has like the better the better ultra great sword, or colossal sword, my bad. So I think they're pretty confident here, but you know, we might be surprised.
I think we down patch for this match. I think can everyone just down patch
just
to patch 1.10? All right, give me the count in then, bestie.
3, 2, 1, go.
The bolt is on its way. The bolt is out. The physics drunk. And the poison mist on the side of Shu here, who's going to be wiggling here in neutral. The spinners of PSN looking on in envy once more as we see Shu blending her way, hopefully not into some damage, as we do see the strafe into that CR1, managing to land it, managing to get the poison proc, but that is going to benefit. That is
Poison Gugs.
Poison Gugs, the classic. The classic.
You notice how it procced in 2 hits,
yes,
right?
indeed. Oh my god, going for that rollout there once more as we do see Shu reset now once more. Oh, good jump though from the side of Engi, but unfortunately Shu's just nowhere to be found there, as we do see that CR1 coming out now once more as the spinners of PSN are currently face palming so hard, as we're going to see. Good block there from the side of Engi though, but he is currently 1200 points, 1200 HP, 765. Oh dear, Shu's managing to take a little bit of damage there into that CR1. The R2 lands, 1600 to 735. The poison mist is out. Missed me with that poison, as we do see a jump over the top there, 1300, but Engi's going to eat it, 900 plus tier. As we see the running R1s come out here, Engi's going to definitely roll out the Uggs here once more, and I think, if memory serves, Ultra Greatsword is the one that has the longest amount of range, but no trade there, interestingly enough. 1000 HP to 428. Shu still has tier. No tier skip opportunity, and that's Shu gonna take it, Amy. GG's. WP's. Question mark? Nicely done.
Well, no right? It's first Shu coming from winners.
No, Shu just won the tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Shu takes the W.
Oh, congrats to them. And yeah, GG's everyone.
Alright, what a tournament so far. And Shu finally gets that Astartes role in Endocord, so they are no longer eligible for the Bennings brackets. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I'm looking at this here. Congratulations to Doesn't Matter Shu and Engi, who for the second showing here in the Endocord Bennings brackets Our second time showing in a tournament ever, I believe. An absolute and phenomenal display and a good showing of how Arcane is not dead yet. Frosty would shed a tear in your honor, sir. Oh my word. Do you have any thoughts, Amy, on the last couple of matches that we've seen there?
Well, I was pretty impressed by Engi early in the tournament. But I think, with just a bit of work on that matchup, and they'll probably get used to it. And I'm looking forward to their performance in Futures Beginners Journeys. Two, with the performance I saw yesterday, I wasn't really surprised they took it here. So, congrats to them for moving on.
5-0, marking that on the challenge and ending the tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this wonderful tournament we've had here today. We will be back next week. Pardon?
You know what this kind of is?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the equivalent of skill-based matchmaking, right? Because you kind of allow the newer players to fight the newer players before they have to fight the big people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think that obviously I've had to open it up a small bit to more experienced players, like previous winners of the beginners tournaments, just because it's hard to get people. So if you are interested in participating in these tournaments, thanks, Amy. That was a really good segue into. If you are interested in participating in these beginners brackets for PC, please do enter the Discord. I generally tend to have the sign up start every Sunday, and likewise we host small round robin brackets twice a week, one for PC, one for PSN. So if you're interested in participating in those, please do let me know. So yeah, it will be absolutely phenomenal to see you all here. So yeah, I'll have the rules updated on Sunday as well. We'll have our rules updates and we'll be moving back over to the lower power level rule set, where basically Starfists go bye-bye and we make a few more concessions on the top tier setups to try and even out some matchups as best we can. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure now once more. Amy, you get the last word, as you've been ever so kind as helping me out here in these tourneys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
And that was anticlimactic. Fuck you. Alright, bye!